Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Red-Rupee here with another episode of Red-Rupee Cast for you guys, featuring Dawn of War 2 Retribution as always. Today I just grabbed a completely random replay off of GameReplays.org. Just found one that looked interesting. Gonna cast it, see how it goes. So, we're gonna get started here on Judgment of Carrion, the dark, isolated superstructure that is this map. Today we got another one-on-one featuring Sheffy, our bright green force commander, and Tineash as our Warp Spider Exarch. Judgment of Carrion, a pretty interesting map. The two main bases pretty close together, right across the map from each other, with only a victory point between them. And the other resource points are pretty spread out. The power being on opposing sides, victory points way out on the end here. So the Warp Spider is probably going to have a good map control advantage, as Eldar normally does. The Force Commander, Space Marine, is going to be a little bit slower on the capping, but we'll see. We can see right off the bat the super aggressive Warp Spider going in, hoping probably to find a harass on some scouts maybe, but with the empty node, he's just going to go ahead and capture that power. Looks like Sheffy was going to intercept, but decided better of it. Knows those scouts aren't going to be able to handle the Warp Spider, just going to grab the requisition and get himself some resource that way. No point in fighting a battle you can't win. Looks like we got Sheffy going for the easy win call right there, and announcing his build order. He's confident in that, and he's going to win. He doesn't even care. Looks like we got Tineash already popping Sheffy's power node here. Gonna delay some power tech. Luckily, he does have another node. Got one cap up for Tineash here. Of course, Sheffy going for the resources over the victory points right off the bat. Was gonna scare off the Warp Spider, decides that he's gonna go ahead and knock out this power node and capture his power. Gonna need that, gonna want to get to tier 2 probably pretty quick. Got some banter, of course, going on between two players that know each other well. Here comes a good battle. There goes the war cry. Watch this. Oh, and you can see excellent use of the Banshees here. The Force Commander pops the war cry, and he's just gonna go in, tape some swings. Look at that micro. He dodged two special attacks, meanwhile going in between and attacking the Force Commander. Might even get a hero kill. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but he just popped two generators that almost looked like they deterred the Force Commander's route back home. If that was intentional, that was very pro. If not, it was cool to watch anyways. Scouts going ahead and capping. You see Sheffy here is pretty much going for one side of the map, trying to keep his forces condensed here against the Eldar army. Probably gonna lose a scout for the decap, but he might deem it worth that. Of course, the bright green tactical marines moving in to scare off the Warp Spider. Of course, by putting all his forces on the bottom, he has left his northern power open here. And by northern, I mean eastern, because northern, as you can see on the map, is to the left side here. Tineash going for the full power farm already. Gonna leave Sheffy in the dust as far as tech goes, and grabbing the shuriken cannon to really secure the center part of the map here. Suppression teams, I think, are very effective on this map. You're right in front of your base. There's not much to risk, and you can really use one suppression gun to control all of center here. Unfortunately, he focused the Force Commander and allowed the scouts and tacks to get behind his squad, so that's going to be a quick pushback in favor of Sheffy. Of course, the Banshees have captured his other power. Sheffy only managing to keep one node at any given time so far this game. Opting for some Assault Space Marines. Probably to help with that shuriken, I imagine. Oh, this Force Commander is going to be in trouble. He should have known those Banshees were back there after losing his power to him. Again, you see that dodge. Anytime the Force Commander fires a special attack, it appears Tineash is dodging out just in time, and that's going to get him a commander kill, and possibly a kill on the Tactical Marines. Excellent timing on the Assault Marine jump to disrupt the Banshees. Saved that squad's life. Looks like we've got the Assaults moving in on these Guardians. Now they're going to have to get out of there. They're not going to be able to deal with the Assault Space Marines, but he does have the suppression gun behind them, backing him up. He knows not to jump in on that with the Banshees probably back there guarding it. So you really have to be careful with the Assault Marines. You can't be too aggressive if you're not sure. If they don't have support, they can go down very quickly to the Banshees. Of course, the Warp Spider warping around, always harassing, picking off scouts throughout the game. Really, it's just constant wreck loss. It looks like the assaults jumped at a perfect angle right behind the firing arc of this Shuriken cannon. Probably going to get a couple model kills, but it looks like it is going to retreat into the garrison here. They're going to have to jump out once the Banshees move in. And still not purchasing the Force Commander back, sticking with what he's got. Just had to reinforce the 2 tacks on that squad. Also losing an Assault Space Marine, unfortunately, to the Banshees. Tineash already is purchasing his Tier 2 upgrade, and the Warp Spider, of course, warping around the map, staying separate overall from the Eldar army. Really, I feel like that's how the Warp Spider is supposed to be played. He doesn't need to stick with the army. He's really a solo hero, going around harassing, capturing the map, just keeping control, forcing the other team to keep up with him, really controlling the locations of the various encounters. Looks like we have Sheffy taking control of the center point here again. A lone pair of tactical marines duking it out with these guardians in a heavy cover ranged battle. It looks like we've got the Shuriken cannon moving up here again. Covering the guardians, you can see when you know Assault Space Marines are on the field, keep that Shuriken out of sight, keep your ranged squads and Banshees up in front of it. That way you can maybe coax the enemy into pulling a premature jump and becoming suppressed, leaving you free to deal with the Assault Space Marines. Scouts down here. Probably looks like he's not a little preoccupied, taking care of something else. Force Commanders back up once again, ready to put some hurt on the Eldars here. And you see he has spotted the suppression gun. He's going to jump on that. Force Commander is going to move in. Excellent work here. The Banshees are upgraded though with their Exarch and aspect of the Banshee. The assaults need to get out of there. They're not going to be able to deal with that at all. They do not have the energy for a jump, so they're probably going to lose a model or two here. And an Altark drop right on top of the Force Commander. He probably could have used those grenades to better effect. Probably knocked off one of those Assault Space Marines, but taking it easy on his buddy, I guess, trying to take out the Force Commander. Altark on the field, scouts grabbing some shotguns. Excellent shotgun blast. Pretty much saved the Force Commander's life there. Banshees homing in with some crazy speed, trying to get the kill. Oh, and they do get it with the Altark buff there. Excellent timing with the assaults again. Going to come out and harass these Banshees. The range support and the Assault Marines can probably take those out, but it looks like they were a bit short getting in there. The Altark leap again, once again buffing and healing the Banshees. Gonna be a brutal loss here for Sheffy. Looks like this Assaults just barely escaping with their lives. Unfortunately, I don't think that... Oh my goodness, the Tactical Marines do go down right in front of the Space Marines base. Really just in his face. With the Banshees and Altark there. An excellent combo, of course. The Altark being able to jump in and heal and buff the speed and defense of the Banshees. Looks like Sheffy is finally going to Tier 2, but his Force Commander is down. He's taken a large squad loss in the form of his Tactical Marines. So he's going to be really on the back foot here. Assault Space Marines going again for the jump. These scouts need to get out of there, under fire from the Warp Spider. See, the Warp Spider just never really attacks the major squads. There's no reason when he can just cause constant wreck bleed to the scouts and smaller HP and armor squads. With his ability to warp, he's just going to cause these assaults to chase him around. He can really stay out of range of them and prevent any major damage. So Probably has a kill count of about 6 or so scouts if I've been keeping track correctly by now. Looks like Tineash is once again decapping Sheffy's second power node, but he does still have the full farm on the other side of the map. All the Eldar squads equipped with their leaders right now. And it looks like here comes the good old Banshee Altark duo scaring away the assaults. They know they're not even going to attempt to stick around for that. Scouts blasting that Warp Spider right on his back off of that wreck point. But unfortunately still losing a member in the opening volley from him. He is level 3, so he's doing a good bit of extra damage to those lightly armored scouts. And as I was saying, the Eldar really just pushing the map here after taking out a couple of Sheffy squads and dropping his hero. Really just running the map now. With the extremely fast Altark and of course the speed of the normal Eldar units, it's not going to be difficult to keep the pressure on the Space Marine. Once again popping this node, not necessarily for the sake of the power, but for the sake of keeping his enemy from capturing it. It's a pretty standard move most of the time. It's not worth the wreck unless you know you can keep him off of it for a little while, and that'll force him to commit some extra squads for the decap. The Banshees falling back from the Assault Space Marines, but the Scouts are moving in as well. This should be a good encounter if he plays it right. The suppression knockback, he tried to juke the merciless strike from the assaults, but the Scouts attempted to knock them right back into it. Those Scouts gonna retreat. Some pretty good micro on Sheffy there that time. The 2 knockbacks and combined fire from the assaults and force commander really putting a hurting on those Banshees. The Altark, of course, is escaping down to either capture some more points or harass the power. Sheffy's going to try to attempt to stop some of this bleed here and break that power node again. Meanwhile, recapturing his own wreck point. He has only the one wreck point directly in front of his base right now, so could really use some extra requisition income after losing those squads. It looks like the Altark is probably going to take care of this power node uncontested and decap Sheffy's only generator farm. You can see the shuriken cannon tucked away here behind the point, probably to deter some scouts in case Sheffy thinks he can get an easy VP out of that. Assault Marines jumping all over the... Oh, an excellent grenade by the Guardian squad, who I thought was going to be in a bit of trouble, but that grenade took those Assault Space Marines down to about half HP. Warp Spider, of course, warping around, harassing. Warped right out from under that jump. That was just about perfect timing to the frame to escape the knockdown from that jump. Sheffy and Tineash go in tier 3. Tineash already there. Sheffy not far behind. Probably going for... Not even worried about the power. Gonna hang out. He's got the red for it. Gonna wait for the wreck to grab some Terminators. Or a tank quickly in tier 3. Warp Spider using the Warp Spider call-in here. And those Warp Spiders are going to shred these Scouts. They need to fall back pretty much immediately. This is just another form of map control. He now has 2 warping squads that can pretty much solo these Scouts without any difficulty at all. This power farm is been getting beat on throughout that encounter. Looks like he didn't decide to cap it, but he's just going to go ahead and destroy all the generators. Unfortunately, the Assault Space Marines do not agree with that. Banshee scream and run. Always, if you've got the scream and you're in melee with the Banshees, always pop that scream. It'll keep the melee squad from chasing you down.